Howdy guys, Cub here. Welcome to a quick tutorial on how to build my Guardian farm for Minecraft 1.13. This farm uses some new game mechanics to Minecraft 1.13, namely the new bubble columns to farm Guardians. If I go ahead and come up here and I'm going to go ahead and switch us into hard difficulty, you'll see how it works. So Guardians spawn in, they all shoot up to the top via the bubble columns, and then they're all funneled into a central water stream. That water stream then leads them down and into some lava. They then will fall, take damage in the lava, and then fall down to some water below, where they will be very low in health. We can then close these trapdoors here and just swing away and get all the experience and items. The items are then collected and put into some chests here and here. Now this farm is fairly quick in terms of the experience you get. You can go from level 0 to level 30 in under 2 minutes with this farm. And the great thing is that this farm is less resource intensive and less time intensive than other Guardian farms of similar size, especially those which require you to use sand and sponges to clear out the whole monument first. This is much faster to build than those. And it also can be expanded. So this is not the biggest size of the farm. This is only a very small portion of the total monument, as you can see here. So the point is, you can make this farm a lot bigger or smaller depending on your needs. So here are the resources you're going to need for the farm. So we have 2 water buckets. We're going to need a couple of trapdoors, an iron trapdoors, 2 levers, some chests, about 8 signs or so. You're going to need some hoppers, as well as 24 lava buckets. Then you're going to need about 1,200 of soul sand blocks, fence gates, any type of slab, and then any other type of block you want to use for the outside of the farm. So those are approximate values. I think the actual value for the soul sand and fence gates are like 1152. And I didn't check exact values for the slabs and the blocks you'll need. I also recommend you get a conduit to activate. That helps out greatly with building the farm. And also some sponge to help you clear out the monument is also very useful. So those are all the resources you'll need, and I also just want to mention before we get started with the tutorial, there will be a world download for this if you want to check it out yourself. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. Alright guys, so here we have our typical ocean monument, and we're going to make the farm right here. First thing you want to do to make this farm is you want to go in and you want to get rid of all the Elder Guardians. So you want to go in and slay the Elder Guardians. There's usually one in this top area here. So just go through and slay all 3 of the Elder Guardians. So now that the Elder Guardians are down, next step is to come up here to the top of the ocean monument, and this 4x4 structure of blocks, we're going to use this as the center of our farm. So we're going to tower up to the top and just mimic the 4x4 below with some stone bricks, just so we know that this is the center of the farm. The farm total size is going to be 36 by 32. And what that means is we find the front of the farm. Toward the front and the back of the farm, we want to go out 14 blocks and place a wall on the 15th block. And to the left and right of the front of the farm, we're going to go out 16 blocks, and on the 17th we'll place a wall. So let's just do that now. So we're coming toward the front here, and we go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And on the 15th, we want to place a 2-high wall here, and then same thing for the back side. Then in the 2 other directions, we come out 16 blocks and place a wall on the 17th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then the 17th will have a wall on it, and then the same for the opposite side. So at this point, your farm should look like this. Now all we need to do is simply connect up the sides here with dirt or some other easily broken block. And we'll just bring this side over here, like so. There we go. So connect those up, and then we're going to fill in the entire area in between these sides here. And we'll do that for all 4 sides. So you're going to make a big 32 by 36 dirt platform. And then you also want to put a wall around it that's 2 blocks high. I'm using glass here, but you can use any block here. I just like glass because it looks better. So there we go. So go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. So we filled the dirt platform in, we got the 2 high wall on the sides to start off with, although this will need to be made higher eventually on some sides. And so we're now ready to place down our fence gates. Now we're going to come to the front of the temple. This is where our water stream is going to collect the guardians and whisk them away from this area. So we want to line ourselves up with the stone bricks we placed in the center. And we're going to place down 4 fence gates across like this. We can actually go ahead and get rid of the wall right here. And these fence gates are going to be part of the water stream that leads the guardians out of this collection area here. So what we need to do is we need to bring back these fence gates for 8 blocks. 8 blocks just like that. And then we need to go through and open all these up just like that. And then same thing for the next row. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Open all these fence gates up. And then next row, same thing, as well as the row after that. So we'll just bring these back. So we have a row of 4x8 fence gates here. All of them being opened like that. There we go. And it doesn't matter which way they're open. Like, you can open some this way if you want to. As long as they're open, that's the important thing. So we now have our 4x8 array of fence gates here. Next thing we need to do is go ahead and simply flood the entirety of this dirt layer with water. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and place down water like this all along the edge right here. And we want to make all these blocks source blocks on this level. That way, when we make the soul sand that shoots the guardian up into the collection area, they will actually extend to directly below the fence gates we're going to place in just a moment here. So just go ahead and place down water sources all along the edge. Alright, so the first level is now flooded, and we now want to go ahead and place fence gates on this side and this side of this main central column exactly the same. So we need to make sure that happens. So whatever I do on this side, you will just replicate on this side. So first thing, we want to come down here. We want to go 8 blocks across with fence gates. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 right there. Go ahead and open all these fence gates here, and then we'll come back an additional 7 fence gates here as well. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then open all of these. Same thing on this next one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open all of these fence gates. Next row, same deal. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then open all of these, and you do the same thing for each row here and on the opposite side. So I'll be back once I have that done. So there we go. 2 8x8 arrays of fence gates on each side, each 1 block higher than this row of fence gates here, which is going to be the water stream out this way. So next up, we need the next row of fence gates to be 1 block higher here, because water only travels 8 blocks. So we need 8 more fence gates up here, 1 block higher than the previous layer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 right there. And once again, open all of these up. There we go. And then we'll have 8 going back this way. So that's 1 right there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we want to make sure these are all going the same direction like that. Open all these up. There we go. And then it's just the same pattern here. So we come back 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there. And then open all these fence gates. And so, yeah, just do the same thing here with all the rest of these rows, and then do the exact same thing with the 8x8 fence gates on the opposite side. So at this point, you want to make sure you have a conduit or a bunch of underwater breathing potions here, because at this point and from this point on, a lot of work will be done underwater. So make sure you have a conduit up so you can breathe underwater and mine faster underwater. It just helps out and makes life easier with this farm. So you want to come on down underneath of the 8x8 of fence gates we just placed down, and we're going to do the same thing we did here except 1 level higher. So we're going to flood this entire area here. So we need water blocks all along the wall here, just like that. And so yeah, that's what we need right there. And as with on this side, do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So just place water sources all along the outside wall there. Now what we want to do is we want to work on the second layer. The second layer is pretty much the same as the first layer, but 1 block higher. And there's also one subtle effect when you place down the water that you need to be aware of. So go ahead and place down some blocks here. We want to place down fence gates on top here. 4 fence gates and open them all up. Then get rid of the water beneath, and it should form back into water sources. Then we want another 7 fence gates here. So get up here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. And then open all of these and do the same thing for the rest of the rows here. So at this point, you should see a pattern emerge. You should see that this 4x8 of fence gates is exactly the same as this one. And now we just have to replicate these 2 8x8s on both sides, except 1 block higher than the previous layer. So what that means is we need to place a block down here. We need our fence gates. Place 8 fence gates side by side. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Open all these up, get rid of this block here, and then come back 8 blocks. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Open all these up. And then we'll do the same thing for this layer. So we place down a block, not there, right there. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks right there. Open all these up. And then get rid of this block. And then it's just the same thing we had before. So just for every row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open up all these fence gates. Just like that. Next row, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Open up all of these. And then just do the same thing for the opposite side. So I'll go ahead and do this, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so we now have the first 2 rows of fence gates down, and we're now ready to place down the water streams. First stream we're going to place down is going to be right on top of this bottom row of fence gates here. So we're going to shift onto the fence gates right there, and we're going to place 4 buckets of water against each of the 4 fence gates. And this water stream should reach all the way to the very end of this platform right here. Next up, we're going to come over here. We're going to place down water on these fence gates here. We're going to need 8 blocks of water here. There we go. And you'll see the water flows over the side of your wall here. You're going to need to fix that. You're going to need to build up your walls down like this. And then the same thing over here. You'll have to build these walls up so that the water doesn't flow out here. So we'll have to go 2 blocks up here. Just like this. There we go. Perfect. And so then we'll go ahead and place down our water buckets back here. Very good. And we should see that this flows to the edge right here. We got to make sure we have source blocks in every spot here though. So let's just make sure we got these down properly. So we'll just go ahead and re-update those. And there we go. Yeah. So your water streams on this side should be like this. So if a guardian were to pop up from the bottom here, they'll go into the water stream like this, and then eventually they'll make their way down into the water stream here and then out this way. Same thing with the other side, so go ahead and build up your walls here so the water doesn't flow out at this point. So you might have to come up 2 or 3 blocks here on the sides to contain the water. But once you have that down, go ahead and place down your water. So water down here like that, coming out to the edge there. There we go. And then water should be coming down like this as well. Like so. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so those first water streams are done. Now for the second water stream, we need just a fence gate here at the next level right here. So we'll just have 4 fence gates down like this. And we'll place our water sources against those fence gates. Make sure to open them as well. There we go. But you might notice now, if you place water against these right here, you'll notice it'll flow this way, which is what you do not want. So this is the subtlety of this farm. You actually need a second row of fence gates here that is above this first row on the farthest side to the right. So we need to place down a block and a fence gate here. Open that fence gate, and then we need a row of 8 fence gates all the way back here. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. And so now if we place this down, you'll see it'll flow all the way to the edge. And of course this side is still open, but once we build the next layer of fence gates here, so the next layer is going to be right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That will then prevent the water from flowing out on this side. So we just place down our water sources now here. Like that. And there you go. So now the fences, now that all the water streams are pointing toward the same direction, as you can see. And they should all focus the guardians straight down the center here. So from here, it's just basically rinse and repeats from what I showed previously. So just make sure that every layer you go up, you have an additional row of fence gates to block the water and prevent it from flowing across like this. You do not want that. So just make sure you have the fence gates here in place to prevent that, and make sure that all the streams are flowing straight into this 4-block wide water stream at the center. Other than that though, the only things that are critical are that you make sure you have flowing water everywhere, and you want to make sure that all water underneath of the fence gates are source blocks. So you want to flood everything underneath of the fence gates, no matter where it is. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and now finish this farm, as the rest of it's just exactly the same as what we just did. And I'll be back once we are done. So if you made it to this point, you're now ready to go ahead and take out all the dirt that you placed down before, as well as the 4 stone bricks in the center. This thing right here. So just come through and take out all these dirt blocks. Do be careful though, because guardians will be able to swim up and shoot you. So yeah, do be a little bit careful at this point. But yeah, go ahead and do that now. Take out all the dirt and all the stone bricks. Okay guys, so we're now ready to start the tube where the guardians are going to come up at. And we're going to make this tube right here. So come down beneath your wall right here. And fill in this 4-block gap here. That is sort of lined up with the fence gates you have here. And we're going to make a tube. We're going to make this tube, I think, 16 blocks long. So we're going to come up here and out here for 8 blocks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to drop down 1, come out another 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to have our drop right here. You can also make this longer. I think on Hermitcraft we made it like 20 or so blocks long, but it doesn't really matter. This is just to, like, once the guardians get to here, it's just a matter of getting them into the tube and processing them. So yeah, let's just go ahead and make this tube up right here. We're just going to extend this out here like this. There we go. And then on this side, we need another block here. There we are. Like that. And we're going to build up the sides a little bit. There we go. And same thing on this side. Build up the sides. And so then we're going to just go ahead and cap this off here. Like that. Now we need our water buckets. So let's grab those. I'm going to place down flowing water on those 4 blocks right there, leading to here. And then we're going to need to cut this off at this point to make the flowing water right here. And we're going to need some sponge to clear out the water sources here. There we go. And then on the end here, we're going to go ahead and make a 4-wide tube. That's 2 blocks across here. So 4 wide, 2 blocks across, just like that. And then we're going to go down here and start to make a tunnel down. So again, we're going to need a sponge. There we go. And we'll place down our water sources just like that. Right, so yeah, that should take the guardians all the way to here. Then we're going to make a tunnel down here to the collection area. So let me go ahead and we'll do that right now. Alright guys, so here's what the tunnel looks like here, and we dug out the area here down to stone. Now we're going to make the killing mechanism. There are a bunch of different killing mechanisms you can use, but I'm going to use lava. So I'm going to place down 3 columns here of lava source blocks. So we're going to have a lava source block on every single one of these blocks here. Just like that, for 3 different layers. So 1, 2, 3, and I just have these to mark out the very top level. So Yeah, this is actually only just a single block below where the water source, the water stream rather, cuts off. I've also lowered this by 1 block so that the Guardians can't jump at the end here. So we have a consistent, the Guardians consistently fall the same way through the lava. So then here, we'll have the Guardians fall down, and let's see how many blocks it is from the sign. So from the sign, you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 blocks, and then on the 28th block is where we are going to set up our hoppers. So let's just go ahead and get rid of all these blocks here. So we'll set up our hoppers on this level here. So we'll just have these hoppers going in like this, these hoppers going in like this, and then we'll have some hoppers going in this way as well, like this. There we go. And like that. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, we want to have some trapdoors right here on these hoppers. And we want to also grab ourselves a lever and turn these on so that they stand up like that. And that should allow items to still go through the hopper. Like if I put in some diamonds here, we should still see these coming down here. And yeah, all we need now is another lever on this side. And we need a chest right here. So chest will go there. Whoops. Well, tell you what. We got to angle it here. So there's one chest. And then here is another chest. So 2 chests like that. We can then fill in the sides here. And of course we could have, you know, this could continue into like a storage area down here. So like we could have this go into, you know, some more chests here. And more chests there, or what have you. So you can make a pretty big storage system out of this. Let's just go ahead and fill this in back here, though, for now. So all that will be up like that. That'll be up like that. Fill all this in back here, and that's pretty much it except for the water. So the water is going to be there, and that's the whole system right there complete. So yeah, not really a whole lot to it, to be honest with you. You do probably want some trapdoors behind you, so let's just get some wooden trapdoors to sort of lock you into place. So if we just do that and that should be good. And now we're all set. Believe it or not, the Guardians cannot hit you from here. So yeah, that is now set, and that is the whole system complete. One other critical thing I forgot is that we need trapdoors above where you stand. So I had these here initially, but make sure you place down 2 trapdoors right there, and that's just so the Guardians, if you hit them and they don't die for whatever reason, they don't have a chance of jumping out. So the next thing you want to do is go ahead and raise up the sides of this farm a little bit so that the Guardians can't jump out at this level where your water streams are even with the blocks here, so that'll prevent them from jumping out. I would raise everything to 1 block above the highest level, which is back here. So raise everything up to this level on the sides. The final thing you want to do here is you want to go ahead and place down blocks or slabs of your choice across the entirety of the collection area of the farm. This will ensure that you get the maximum spawn rate from the Guardian farm, because Guardians spawn more frequently when the blocks that they spawn in do not have sky access. So go ahead and place slabs or full blocks over the entirety of your collection area here. So, next thing we need to do is actually prepare the monument and place down our soul sand. So, the goal here, there's a number of ways you can go about doing this, but the goal here is to create all water sources with soul sand on the very bottom level. This level right here, even with the bottom of the temple. On the entire area that this farm covers. So everywhere where we placed fence gates up here. That is the goal. So any way you can accomplish that, that is what we are trying to do here. The way I would recommend doing it is, first of all, going through and you want to clear the entire monument of water. So yeah, just place down some blocks here at the entrance maybe to block off some of the water here. And then just start placing down some sponge around the area so that you get rid of all the water sources in all of the monument. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. So the inside of the monument has now been cleared out with sponge. Takes a while to do this in survival because you need to dry the sponge before moving on to the next section typically. But it is doable. So next step is to go ahead and make a giant room on the inside of the monument. And we'll eventually need to flood that room, so we don't want to make it bigger than we have to. So to figure out how big we need to make this, we need to go off of the 4x4 thing out here, this 4x4 structure out here. So yeah, we can see we're in the middle of the 2x2 right now. So if the 2x2 is there, as it appears to be, that means the 4x4 is on the outside of that. So that's good to know. So basically, we're just going to take this 4x4, project it down to the bottom layer. So let's just go ahead and make our way down here to the very bottom layer of the monument, which happens to be right here. And so our 4x4, if I just break this, our 4x4 is going to be right here. So this coming out here, and this right here, just like that. So that is our 4x4. So this is the 4x4 area, similar to what we had previously up there with the main part of the farm, just sort of projected downwards onto this base structure. And now what we need to do is we need to start digging. So we need to dig out from the front of the monument. We need to dig out 14 blocks in that direction. We need to dig out 14 blocks in this direction, and then 16 blocks in the other two directions. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark this out here. So let's see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So out to here, and then we come 14 blocks from this front section here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Just dig on out here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And so this block should be the last fence gate up here. And if we go up here, you can see it is indeed the last fence gate, and the wall is right here. So fantastic. Looks like we did it correctly. So now everything within this vicinity inside the monument, you need to dig out. So I'm going to go ahead and just plug up this front section here and do just that. So everything here, for instance, needs to be dug out and made into one giant room with these dimensions. Alright guys, at this point your room should look like this. So we've cleared out this whole region here of the 36 by 32 area, and there's no water in here yet, but we're going to do this now. I'm just going to note here that another way to do this, which might be easier, so you don't have to like count blocks and don't have to make the inside of this and don't have to fill the water inside of this, maybe just to take down the entire monument from the inside, and then going like from the top down. That might actually be an easier way to do it, because that way you still have areas to hide behind. But now, since we're doing it this way, might as well just continue on. But that is an option. You could just take down the entirety of the monument until it's just like a flat plane. So that is an option you have. Let's just go ahead and take down these bits right here. And so we're just going to take down all these. We got the measurements down already, so we don't need these anymore. And now what we need to do, we need to fill the entire inside of this with water source blocks. So we're going to get a water bucket again. We're going to come on in here, and along the edges here, we're going to place water buckets all along the outside edges. Now, as you're doing this, you can have guardians spawn in here. So if you're on a multiplayer server, I would recommend you get like 3 or 4 people to help you out with this, because that will greatly reduce the number of guardians that spawn in the monument. Like if each of you stuck in one corner, that would definitely help out a lot. But you need to go through here and you need to fill in water sources all along the sides here. So I'll just do the first layer so you can see. And there we go. Yeah. So we now have the first layer done, and you need to do that for all the layers inside of here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so we now have water inside this entire room here, and you can see guardians can indeed spawn in here now, so be very careful when filling this up with water. And so now the only thing we need to do next is to place down soul sand on the floor here, everywhere in this area, including outside of this room. Then remove all the blocks above the soul sand. So all the blocks up here, this whole wall needs to go, as well as some of the blocks like these blocks up here. These blocks here need to go as well. So the easiest way I think to do this is to, once you're done filling this room with water, you need to go to the outside, right here, and swim up and out, and just take out some of the blocks on the outside here. You can hide, a good place to hide here from these guardians is just to like weave in and out of these structures here. But you need to just take out all of the blocks on top of your area here. So just take out all these blocks from here upwards. So we're coming now to the final blocks we have to clear, and I'll just show you here, if we go into survival here, most of the time the guardians without a target will just simply sink down to the bottom, and so you usually don't have to worry too much about guardians attacking you here. Occasionally one will swim up, but then you just break line of sight and they should go back to sinking lower again. So that is something you can use to your advantage, so it's not too difficult to do in survival. So we'll go ahead and go into game mode creative again, and we'll break these final few blocks here. And then once we have this broken, that is going to be the hard part done. Now the only thing we have to do is we need to come to the bottom of this area, and we need to fill in all of this with soul sand. Now, we're not going to do this in this area, obviously, because we'd be blasted by guardians. Instead, what we're going to do is, like, we'll swim down here, we'll break this block, place a soul sand in this block here, then we're going to swim to the other corner, which I think is somewhere, like, around here or so. Not quite, it looks like. Let's see if we can find the corner here. Okay, that's not quite it. Looks like the corner is right here, so we'll place another soul sand here. Like that. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to mark out the outside area of this whole thing. And as we place down soul sand around this whole area, we should see that the guardians start to head up and go into the farm. So now all you have to do is simply mark out the corners and just place soul sand down in this entire area right here. And no guardians can spawn underneath the temple, so you should be fine here with the guardians. If it's still a concern of yours, then you can always come through and, you know, place down blocks here, as I stated previously, when we put down the conduit. That does help and make sure that no guardians can spawn in this area. Helps to keep you safe, so just go through and, yeah, place down, probably dirt would be best, or slime blocks, all around like this to make an area where the guardians can't get to. And then just fill the whole area here with soul sand blocks. I'm just going to go ahead and do this with a command here. So this one right there. And now, that should be it. So if we get up to the top now, we should see, yeah, this whole area here. Every time the guardians spawn in this region, they immediately get taken upwards into the water streams. And we should now see a whole bunch of guardians now, yep, coming right on down into our farm. Very, very nice. So yeah, just this whole area down here, flooded with soul sand. I see if I step into it here, I get taken up. And yeah, the guardians should now all make their way down these water streams and into the killing chamber down here, just like they're doing now. So guys, at this point the farm is now complete, and any guardians that spawn in these bubble columns or that swim into the bubble columns from the side should immediately get launched up and taken into the system. So we should see that here momentarily. Quick note, you do want to play with your particles off or at minimal when you're around this farm, because there are a lot of particles that have some impact on your system. And yeah, we should see some guardians spawn in. Yeah, there we go, right there. They go up, and now they're in the system and cannot swim back down. So they will eventually make their way down the stream and through the stream into the lava. So here they come. And yeah, they will eventually make their way to the lava, burn in the lava for a little bit, and then fall down to the water below. So let's go ahead and get on down here and see how easy it is to use this farm. So there are the guardians in there. I'm just going to go ahead and go to survival game mode. And you can see I just have some protection 4 Unbreaking 3 armor, as well as a sharpness 5 sweeping edge 3 Unbreaking 3 diamond sword. And yeah, you can see even if I step right up to them in this configuration with these trapdoors and everything, they can't shoot me at all. Even the ones in the back. Well, actually, the ones in the back can shoot me apparently. But yeah, for the most part, I think it's fine. If you stand in the middle here, I think you're all right. So I'll go ahead and close these up here. Swing my sword a few times. There we go. And you'll see I do get knocked around a little bit because of the thorns. But yeah, we just got 17, 18 levels there. And we should have gotten, yeah, a bunch of stuff in both of these chests. So that's pretty cool. Now we just wait for the next batch of guardians to come on down. So here's one right here. I should be able to hit this guy here. There we go. Yeah, so obviously, you know, we had so many down here that, you know, we couldn't slam all fast enough. But yeah, because of the lava up there, it actually gets them down low enough to where your sweeping edge sword can take them out pretty much instantly with one hit. So that's pretty nice. And I like this because it gives you a nicer view of the whole area here. So yeah, you guys can play around with the killing mechanism. Of course, you could just do a straight drop. That also works. You need to drop them about 29 or 30 blocks or so to get them to half a heart. But I like the lava method because yeah, it works pretty effectively. So there we go, guys. And yeah, we're almost already to level 30. So very fast, very efficient guardian farm that requires not that much work. So pretty decent system. And with that, guys, I'm going to say that's going to be it for me today. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. And as always, thanks again for watching. This has been Cub. Goodbye.